and he's the president. And according to Mzee Ali, good things happen to good people. Where are we? Anthony, where are we?
Kibe, I was waiting for Mariam. She was the one who had most of the questions. Let me get some speakers up.
All right. There's a guy called Gunia here. Gunia Junior.
Yes, Kibe, I've been patiently waiting. Habari zenyu?
Mzuri
Unajua
sana,
mimi
sema.
I'm very disciplined. So ukisema weka mkono juu na unyamaze na ngoja time ifike uniambie ongea. So I've been listening and I really follow so much before I give my contribution. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Number two, we need to agree before we start discussing Ruto because I've heard a lot of our speakers and listeners probably are struggling to agree or to understand the meaning of prayer. We first agree that there is God above. Both Christians and Muslims and every other religion believe that there is a supernatural power. We can recognize there's a supernatural power. That is why all of us are praying to some sort of God. We just define which God, but we agree there's some supernatural power. It gets to a point where the things are happening we can't explain by our natural understanding. So when you look at, for example, the creation theories and all those things, creation and evolution and scientists and everything, they all agree that there's God. We all agree that God is powerful. We all agree on the issue of prayer. I have my own personal views about the Bible, so I don't want to refer so much into it because it was written by human beings so many years after those things happened. So somehow there's a possibility some events were distorted.
Gunia, we
I'm
agree
trying
on
to.
nothing. You put your point across. We don't agree on
Okay.
anything. Whatever you're
Okay,
saying we
fine.
agree on is in your head. All right?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I have reservations when it comes to that. But now, based on the Christian, what I understand, God says that prayer without action is dead. The meaning of prayer is that when you get to a point where you have done your bit, God gives you wisdom. The Bible says God will not do for you what He has given you grace to do for yourself. For example, when you drink and drive, you know very well if I drink, I'll be inebriated. If I drive, I'll get an accident. And you go drink and drive, you are testing your God, and you will find out the hard way. Prayer without action is dead. So, for example, when a Ruto prays and there's no action, that prayer is dead. God has given Ruto wisdom and knowledge to understand that this person is corrupt, this person is incompetent, this person will not deliver, and he has prayed and he has the wisdom, but he makes a decision based for whatever reason known to him. So to answer the
But
question that
Gunia, stop right there. Stop right there. Let's interrogate what you've just said, okay?
yes,
And let's be very honest today. Today, I don't want us to be bullshitters because we seem
no
to
problem.
think that we seem to think that we know more than everybody else. Okay, and
Proceed,
I want
Kibe,
you
I'm
to take.
listening.
I want you to see yourself from the position of Ruto. I want
Okay.
you to see yourself having come from all that way, and you do all these things, and you work your way up to a point where you become on your first try, you become the president. So there are a lot of these. There are a lot of things that had to go right for this guy. Many things, more than you and I will ever get to know. True or not true?
Very true.
So there's a place this guy already knows that he is in a place of a higher plane than the rest of us. Because again, remember, it's God who has done this for him. He's God. So there's no way his God can put him there and then take that away from him. I want you to understand the psychology of this religion that we talk about. Because it is God who has done this for him. So his God has put him in a better place than he has put you. So how dare you and your small God go against him and his big God who has made him president?
Okay, Kibe, understand me. You said I put my point across. We don't have to agree. You see, at the end of the day, to him that much is given, much is expected. Number one. Number two, yes, God favored Ruto, but God did not wake up and Ruto did not sleep, and God just picked him and made him the president. Ruto had to wake up and campaign. Let's agree on the facts. You say we don't be bullshitters. Let's be factual. Ruto campaigned. I remember the days they used to campaign with Uhuru when he was campaigning for Uhuru. Uhuru used to join Ruto in the seventh rally or something. This guy doesn't sleep. He used to campaign. If you remember when he was vying, when he was deputy president, now vying to be the president, before the campaign was closed, he was rushing, literally running with his bodyguards so that he can get there before time efike. This guy did several rallies every day that Tinga could not do. So as much as God favored him, he had to work. So yes, he did the part. Prayer without work is dead. Ruto worked. And that is why God favored him. God favored everybody, but him that much is given, much is expected. God favored him. But now, when you get there, then you forget the God that favored you, because Ruto used to pray and listen to advice and wisdom. If he's told go to Nyanza, go to Central, do your rallies here and there, he used to listen and it worked. All right. Now that he became the president, now that more is given to him, more is expected. He's needed to be listening more. He's needed to have more wisdom. He's needed to pray more and he needed to act more. What Ruto is doing now, we agree the Ruto we are dealing with today is not the Ruto that campaigned. We agree that the Ruto that was sworn in is not the Ruto we are dealing with today. That Ruto listened. This one doesn't listen. The Ruto we dealt with then used to see logic. This one is doing things that clearly everybody, Mpaka mtoto mdogo, can see this is stupid, and he's doing it. And then when we asked, he's hiding in prayer. There's prayer. Kibe. There's prayer that you believe in your heart. This is prayer. A prayer of showing off. The prayer is an intimate conversation with your God, with your Savior. And you don't, your neighbor, whoever is next to you, doesn't need to know what you are praying about. Ya Ruto ni show off. Mpaka tuko na watu wameandikwa State House ati sijui ni wafanya nini, wanalipwa. Ruto ni crisis imekuja, people sit down, try to discuss the way forward, then we pray Mungu atusaidie kwa ile tumefanya sisi, we have arranged, we have done as whatever we can do as human beings. You pray for God to do for you that you cannot do for yourself. That's what I'm saying. Ukishafanya ile unaweza as a human being, till umefika mwisho, then you leave the rest to God. You have to do your bit. Ruto has not done his bit. And his bit is he has not done whatever he is required to do as a leader. And then when he wrongs, because everybody makes a mistake, he made a mistake. He's making mistakes. The citizens are telling him, sir, this is not the right way. This one unatufinya, this is the right way. Yes, we will pray. But before we pray for God to allow whoever we are giving the offices to perform, we have to get it right by ourselves and get people who are credible to get the job done. Unanielewa Kibe? It is the same thing as simple as marriage. Ukienda kuoa poko, what do you expect? God gives you wisdom, tafuta vizuri, enda kwao, angalia hivi, fanya hivi. You will
But
do everything.
Gunia, Gunia, and just mute your mic for a second, because you know this God of yours, this God operates the way you guys think. This God operates according to your imagination, and now you even seem to know the things that Ruto has done wrong and right. You seem to know his prayer routine. You prayer people seem to know about a lot about each other. You seem to know which mistakes, especially, that person made. That's why he's not getting blessed. If he had just done this, if he had just gone left or right. You know, I had George earlier at the space, and George was busy telling the Gen Z the mistakes they made. And I'm like, hey, hindsight 2020 is here. Hindsight 2020. So everybody seems to know where the mistake was, but nobody knows where the mistake is. Because if you did know where it is, or if you know where it is, then you'd be the king. I think we are reading Ruto a bit different here. Maybe Ruto is worshiping a God who's higher than ours. Now, if on Tuesday, the Gen Z's God comes through for them, and the Gen Z God takes out Ruto for them, then, you see, I am a winner in the Lord. Are you seeing how I'm thinking?
Kibe, can I ask you a question?
Ask me a question, then I'll go to Mariam. I can't wait to talk to Mariam. I see her cut there, and I just get wet.
Can
Yeah.
so I let you talk to Mariam first.
No, just go ahead. Go ahead. I'll control myself.
What you are promoting is what we call mediocrity, Kibe. Because you are saying, ukiamka asubuhi, just sleep there, lie there, and let God do the work. And what I've explained to you, Kibe.
No,
What I'm saying,
no,
let me land.
Gunia. That is
Allow me to land.
erroneous.
Let me just land.
Gunia.
Let me just land on this one, please. Just allow me
Mm.
to land on this. What I'm saying, Kibe, is not Ruto is not only not listening to me, but he's not listening to anyone. Everybody, we have over 50 people, different experts from different departments, from whatever, telling him that this is not the right way to govern a country. You can't run a country alone. When he was campaigning, people used to come with the strategies, and he used to listen from different sectors, from farmers to, I don't know, fishermen to whatever. Everybody used to come with whatever they have, and Ruto used to listen. Listening is wisdom, Kibe, and this comes from God. Listening is wisdom. Listening is practice. There are people who have done so many bullshit. If only they listen.
Okay, Gunia. So we have to understand some two things here. Okay. Number one, you guys don't know shit about Ruto. You have to accept that. The only thing that you know is the glimpse that you have of the last 2 or 3 months. That's what you know about Ruto. Because if you did know about Ruto, then you would have been at the polling station. So you don't know shit about him. Number two, he's not your president. So when you guys say he doesn't listen to you, but Mashinani, he's listening. He's doing everything everybody wants. He's building churches and shit. So he's not listening to you because you guys don't have a relationship. And this is what it should be. Now we are trying to create a relationship between the presidency and this new movement. That's what we're trying to do. Create a relationship. And I see Hanifa and Boniface Mwangi and the rest. And and they keep praising themselves about how you should hear them say, oh, they offered me a position and they told me to come and sit with them and I refused. And where is the relationship? Because the pastors have a relationship. Because Kenya is Kenya. Upendo sipende. So the pastors have a relationship. The Law Society have a relationship. The bishops have a relationship. The Catholic Church has a relationship. So this is a country where you form relationships. But now the power of Gen Z should have a relationship that is so strong.
Kibe, are you an enemy
But
of
now,
the people?
sorry?
Are you an enemy of the people? Because the way you
No,
talk.
no. We're just having a conversation. Why is it a problem that you have to brand me something just from a conversation? Gunia?
Kibe, those people you are talking about have a clear agenda. Unfortunately, we have a very keen interest in the president because he's leading us. So his life becomes our business. And if we notice any change, we cry. And those people you're mentioning had very little role in making that guy the president. As much as God is blessing you, you do your bit. And doing your bit, you have to do good by your people.
No,
Historically.
you're in your, get out of your feelings and listen to what I'm saying. Please just understand what
Okay.
I'm saying. Get out of your feelings for a second. So I'm saying the Gen Z woke up a bit late, okay? The Gen Z woke up a bit late after the elections. That's when they realized, oh, we should have been more involved in this thing. But the Gen Z have also a lot of power because of the way they can congregate. Their numbers are easy to congregate. So the Gen Z have a power that has not been witnessed before. So that's where we are right now. So we are saying Gen Z is introducing themselves to the presidency, not to William Samoei Ruto. If it was Kibaki or Uhuru, the Gen Z would be introducing themselves to this person and saying, hey, we are the Gen Z. We want a piece of the cake.
Very true. You are very accurate. I have a question for you on that point you have just made. Just one question on that point you have just made. I have understood you. Gen Z is introducing themselves to the presidency. That they are here as a stakeholder and they need to be listened to. They have numbers and they can do something. The question now is this. Even if Ruto says today, I want to listen to Gen Z, and God says, I want to bless Gen Z, what exactly is God going to bless Gen Z to achieve Or what exactly can Ruto do to Gen Z? Because clearly they have not done the work that God requires them to do, the wisdom and listening to what is it, so that they
You've gone beyond. So
answer my
stop the
question.
question. Stop the question.
Kibe.
Stop the
Kibe,
question.
answer this.
Stop the question. Hold up.
Okay.
Listen
Okay.
to this. So you had already finished the question. Then you went into your imagination. And it's a very Kenyan thing to do that, where you over question or you ask a question that is too long. Because all you wanted to do is, okay, so we are being introduced to the presidency. What do we talk about? Isn't that what you're asking?
Kibe, what I'm saying is
Isn't that the
this.
question? Isn't that the question
It
that
is part of the
you
question.
have met?
I don't want you to. I don't want. I'm trying to connect the question to the conversation we're having of prayers and Ruto. The question I'm asking is this simple, Kibi. Just listen. Pia we talk kwa emotions. I'm asking this
Aya,
question.
nimetoka.
So, if you are going to introduce yourself as Gen Z, you're introducing the team to the presidency, not to Ruto. To Ruto, yes, and any other president that will come after. The question is, if God says today, I'm blessing you, because you are saying the God, huyo mambo ya Mungu na Ruto na Mungu wake, Gen Z pia ako na Mungu wao. God is to bless Gen Z today. They are being blessed by doing what? They don't have a specific thing that God need to bless them for because they have not done the work. If they could have said, okay, fine, we want 1, 2, 3, then God will bless them, Ruto will listen, then Ruto can do that. What I'm trying to say, the question is, if God is to bless Gen Z today, I want to bless Nanini because they don't have a clear path of a basic request they need. God bless us with 1, 2, 3. Ruto akiamua kuwasikiza leo anasikiza nini because it's just heckling haina specific demands, and that's what I'm saying. The work they need to organize themselves, then put the prayer, then work on it. Sasa Mungu bless you, pray ikwe sawa na Ruto asikize hiyo prayer ikubalishwe, so through that ndio Mungu yuko. So back to a question, leo God is listening to Gen Z and is to bless them, and what is their blessings? Wanataka kupata nini ndio wajue wameblessiwa with this Gen Z circus you are seeing? If you don't believe in people working fast, then they are being blessed. What is God blessing now? Tell me.
All right. Thank you for your question. Mariam, come running, Mariam.
Hey, cat lover. You're a cat lover, clearly, Kibe. Lately, I've come to believe that.
Cats love me. Cats love me.
No. I think you love cats. I saw your video with a cat. It was so cute, licking itself behind you.
Cute, eh?
And
cute. That motherfucker just killed a bird after that. Immediately after that, it killed a bird. These things are vicious.
They're natural hunters, so you just have to understand them. Anything is a moving target. Any moving thing is a target.
It reminds me of women, especially when the man is a bit hard-headed or has money. Oh, you can see a natural hunter in a beach, quick, fast. Amaje, Mariam.
Kabisa, hapo sasa, hapo uko sawa kabisa. And I don't know how Anthony has drawn me into this Jabba talks of yours. Hey, tonight you're on Jabba talk, but I'll try. You were talking about Ruto and God, and in the first session before you dropped, I was just thinking, with what it takes to be president, and in this case, Ruto, he's very ruthless. He's very, we can even give him the wisdom. You can give him deceptive. We know his journey. This is a very, very ruthless person. I was just wondering, do you think such a person can be so disconnected to a point that he credits his success to God? I do think that to someone like him and to very many other leaders, religion is just a tool. It's just a tool for them. It's not. They don't look at it in the simplistic manner that we tend to look at it, especially for us fanatics. When we have nothing else to look up to, we have nothing else to give credit to when it comes to success because we don't even know how we got there. Then the only thing we can do is credit it to God. But them, they know exactly how they got there. They know exactly what they need to do. And I don't think that disconnected to believe that all this is coming from God. No, I think that cannot happen. So those are really my thoughts.
Are you saying that these guys are outrightly conning us? They know they're conning us. They know they're using religion as a tool. And they're out there conning us. Like they know exactly what they're doing. When they say, hey, let us pray, they know there's nothing they're doing there. They're conning everybody who's bowing their head in prayer. Is that what you're saying, Mariam?
To them, To them, they're not conning you. It's a tool. That is a tool. So they're using it the way they're supposed to use it. So it's not conning. He's using it the way it's supposed to be used. To his advantage. If he needs to use it to control people, if he needs to use it for the numbers,
Yeah,
I don't think it's conning.
exactly. So they know that this tool is like it's like selling. It's like those phones that people used to buy in Tao. That it's a brick inside, and they show you the real phone, and then when you look away, they give you the brick. So these guys know what they're doing, and they're using this tool for manipulation. So it's a con. They know it's a con. They know that's why probably the church and the politicians have been so well. They have worked so well together the last couple of years.
Now, let me tell you why
somebody somewhere knows the con, and I'm trying to find out who. Uh-huh.
The reason why I don't want to look at it as a con is because they know what it means to you. So if it didn't mean that to you and they had to convince you that it's supposed to give you that hope and it's supposed to give you your answers, if it was him convincing you, then he would be a con. But he is not convincing you. He knows what it means to you. So he just uses it as a leverage, and not even as a leverage. It's just a tool, period.
No, but
so he's
Mariam,
not conning you. You've already conned yourself. So he is just using that tool.
Good. So these two are working in cahoots. They're like Starsky and Hutch. Okay?
Perfect.
The pastor and the politician. So the pastor marinates you for the politician. So the politician can come and now take you out properly. So these two know that you are the product. These two know that they have come together to harvest you. You're the one who's being harvested here. So at some point, these guys must not believe in God. Because how would you believe in God, Mariam? And let's be very honest about it. How would you believe in God and use his name in vain? If you did believe in God, you'd never use it. You'd never use his name in vain because you know the consequences of using God's name in vain. Otherwise, that is not God. So there's a con here somewhere, Mariam. Point it out.
No, that is a very interesting question because for me, I actually believe that many of these pastors, bishops, whatever you want to call them, I actually have believed for a very long time that they don't believe in God. Now, what happens is that they don't, you are the one who takes yourself to church because you're looking for answers. You're seeking for something. So you take yourself to them. So it's up to them to feed you with whatever you're looking for. So I do believe most of them don't even believe in God because they have tested that theory. They know this God does not exist, but you need that God to exist. So it's their job to help you keep your faith. It's just a job that they're doing, but honestly, really, I don't think they believe in God.
So their job to help you in your delusion, to keep you in your delusion, keep you there. Where are you? You are here. Okay. You know, con men behave the same way, Mariam. A con man cons you exactly where you are. He doesn't come to con you something he knows you cannot give him. Exactly what it is you're looking for. Bro, there's a time I was looking for a house. I just got a job at a new company called Express Automation. Very nice. I enjoyed that job like crazy. And I was looking for this house. And I wanted a 1-bedroom house with a small, balcony. And I went looking in the newspaper. At the time, we didn't have mobile phones. So I went looking at the newspaper and I found this perfect house. It is exactly what I wanted. Close to the office, I would walk to work. And it was perfect. So I called these guys and I told them, I want this house and I want it today. I borrowed some money. I was going to pay. I went all the way to town. I took the company car. But where they told me to go to Tao, this guy is on his phone constantly telling me, leta pesa ya deposit chukua kifungu. Uende ukaangalie nyumba. And the guy is explaining that he's on the phone, but he's explaining how the house is just exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. So these pastors and these politicians are playing us. And that's why I like the Gen Z movement when they said, hey, the church and the politicians have to be separated. Because those two are such a force that wanatuokota. If you don't separate those two, we are fucked. The church and politics must be separated. Because the pastor is the one who's marinating you. Oh, he comes, he prepares you and tells the politician, wait. Wacha tumalize kwanza praise and worship. I marinate these people for you. How much are you living? Doesn't make sense how we are always building churches. Anyway, that's a whole new conversation I'm trying to get into. Kolo, jump in here. Say hi to us.
Niaje Kibe. I hope uko
What's up,
fiti.
dog?
Niko easy maze, good evening. Uko true?
Oh, niko chilling. Nimefikiri unakaa na Samonet kwanza alafu ndio tuongee ama unataka tuongee kwanza?
Something to share with the family. During the Baroque period of music, if you study, you'll find that it was mandatory for people to go and study music because you're calculating sound. So inapata kama msea kwenda kustudy music hiyo time ulikuwa una consideriwa wewe nikaa auko. So about prayer, nataka tu reiterate the words from the last one zenye sumaliza nao hiyo prayer yetu tunaita the national anthem. I say sing with a revelation, just don't sing things and keep to cry. Again, this is something that really guides me every day despite all the bullshit we go through. It's a day at a time, step by step. Tuungane mikono pamoja kazini. Already I love the conversation, and for me this is a really good space. So thanks once again. Thanks Kibe. Kenya istahili heshima. Heshima ina boil down to conversation nilikuwa nao earlier today na OC ni Old Cambrian. Tulikuwa in the same school, but like elder, and I think he's a Gen X. So I was expressing to him a concern that I had about the kind of relationships that, especially dudes have. Ukifikiria the city boy, unajua na represent tu na ujamii. Yani ka SIU ni to boy child kutoka Kenya. So na tujenge taifa letu, ndio wajibu wetu. Kuna reset, tuna reclaim, tuna restore, tuna restrategize, tuna recapture, kuna vitu reshuffling, there's a lot. So tuwe tayari kuilinda nchi yetu ya Kenya tunayoipenda, nasi tujitoe kwa nguvu. Amkeni ndugu zetu, tufanye sote bidii, raha tupate na ustawi. Indo one of my best bars kwa hiyo national anthem, juu inasema there's joy in wellness, na clearly hata kutoka huo boy ulikuwa nazungumsha naye anaitwa Gunia maze, Gunia ana come from a place of emotions, na boy child again kutoka Nairobi. Kuna conversation yenye kutoka church, naweza sema men never spoke with each other, they spoke at each other. Imeboil tu pali tumefika, na sibongi tu juu ya church pekee. I mean church ina represent hii conversation. Hii ni church na believe, especially amongst men, but all in all hizi religions zote, whether ni Judaism, whether ni Christianity, which I don't think is a religion, it should just be a lifestyle, ina boil down to venye tunabebana na heshima na si ndio hiyo hapo, undugu. Kuna kitu sasa inafanyika kwa boy child na kuna venye tu umesema Kibe, wanajua kupoint out weaknesses za wasee, lakini kama unaweza ipoint out pia inamaanisha pia wewe uko tu nayo. So haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, alafu tunaanzanga kama kawa na Mungu, nguvu yetu ilete baraka kwetu. If you study the instrumentation of this music, you'll notice that it has specific patterns that are very spiritual notations. The world celebrates it as one of the most brilliant composed anthems, not just an anthem. And even just to, this is a fun fact, before they selected this specific one to unite the nation of Kenya, they had already sampled a couple of them. So for this one to have made it, kulikuwa na zingine bala zenye zingechaguliwa, but ni ndo ili end up kukuwa the unifying prayer. So heshima as a patriot, to focus na kuona venye tutasonga mbele, na niko glad that he spaced in a create the best vibe for that. So salute. Thank you, Kibe. God bless Kenya.
You know, Kolo, your submissions are always like poetry. I just like listening to them. I'm like, I know this guy is going to give us a line somewhere.
King
Yeah.
wa rap Buddha. Unajua ule Josephine alibonga juu ya King, akasema King akishateuliwa afai kubow down kwa anyone else. So mazee, mimi najijua bro, mbaya.
Hey, Majiro, are you there?
Kibe, I'm here. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I was in the other space and joined this one, so I think the impression from the last one ilikuwa when someone like Ruto prays, do you think he believes he's a good man? Do you think when he prays he believes that he should actually get what he's praying for because he's put in the work? I think I want to look at it a bit differently, and I'll try to be a bit conversational, not a submission per se. I think, first of all, what makes us think that this guy is religious? You know, before we set out into any other argument, what really convinces us that he prays that he you know he's a spiritual guy? I mean, he's given us a few killer verses, but I don't spend my time thinking that this guy is praying for a country and he's worried about the welfare of all of us. So first of all, to me, it's a very bullshit ideology for me, not for anybody else, but for me, to believe that he prays and he prays for us, because even you, Kibe, you don't know I pray, you don't know how I get the things I get. So it cannot be a direct correlation of you pray, you get things. In life, I don't think that's how it works. And even for him, there's a space where we were with you and we were going back and forth. And we were saying, I think what we came to an agreement was, this guy has dreamt of this thing all his life. He has not worked towards any other thing. You know, it's not like the way us not basic, but common people, today you are a project manager somewhere, tomorrow you are a secretary, the other day you are driving at a company. This guy has worked on this exact path from the moment he was in university. So it's in my opinion, I think it's a result. It would be such a shame for him to have worked as hard as he did and never became a president. That's my honest opinion, because that's all he has worked. He had tunnel vision from day one to get to where he is. So if you ask me, it's not an issue of praying. It's someone who has set his path in life, all his resources, everything he knows towards presidency, and he was patient enough to wait for his turn. And here is his turn. So I will not try to correlate that with prayer. But I think another thing, maybe Kibe, because you've traveled a bit, and I've traveled myself. I could consider myself to be well traveled. I think when you travel and you see some parts of this world, you're like, I think Africans, we just like we like to complain, and we have such a big dependency on the superficial and like the actual work. If you go to a place like Frankfurt, Germany, things are working. The streets are clean. The train is clean. You enter, you sit on the. Let me not even go to Germany. Let me go to South Africa. South Africa has its problems, but I love it for a few reasons. The things that need to work. If you enter the How train, it's clean, sparkling. It's on time. You get where you are going. The roads, almost 6 lanes every side. The houses are very well done. There's no laziness in how, the way Kenyans apartments are furnished in the most weird way. There's a genuine desire for excellence, even if they're not where they need to be. But for the much they've gotten so far, there's a genuine desire for excellence. So I think for us as Kenyans, what I would be more careful to talk about is, do we have a genuine desire to be excellent in how we do things? If you are a tea girl, do you make sure you do your work well? If you're a pastor or whatever you choose to be, are you excellent? Me, I will say for a fact, I think Ruto is excellent. I don't praise him much, but I think he's excellent in how he arrived at where he arrived. If all of us put our brains towards getting the things we want, like that guy did, I think we'd get exactly what we want out of our lives. So, see maombi, by the way, me si believe ni maombi, ni bidi. Unless, Kibe, you have another opinion. Hello, Kibe? Or anyone else?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but you asked the question: you don't think he's spiritual or